So happy to be here. And Sandy, I wanted to tell you that there are in Colorado some organic farms that are working on interesting topics like trying seeds, organic seeds from all over the world and adapt them into Colorado environment. I believe the name of this farm is MASA. It could be an acronym. And they are in Boulder, Arapahoe and 75, I believe. So.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Gabriella.
Beautiful. Thank you, Gabriella. Does anyone have any suggestions for Gabriella?
Besides patience, that I am having a lot.
Exactly.
Well, the only thing I would have said is what Jen Underwood already told you, is to take that workshop, because a federal resume application is a whole different world.
Any luck with checking work with like near Glenwood Springs with the flood damage, with the landslides, etc.?
No, I believe they are waiting for money from that infrastructure bill. No, however, I applied this week. Every day I am logging into the USA federal jobs website, and I found a job for a geologist looking to work in that mitigation center there is in Golden, and precisely working in mud flows. So that's the job I want, and I apply immediately. I hope it wasn't too rush and screw my application, but I look for them. So
There's you know, I have a sister who went to the School of Mines, Colorado School of Mines. She got her master's in geological engineering there. If you want to touch base with her, she was working with an environmental company out of Denver for a number of years, kind of remotely. They have a ranch in Montana now, her and her husband. If that would be helpful. Also, I have another sister who's a lifelong career forest ranger up in the Medicine Bowl National Forest. If you want to touch base with her to get some feedback.
yes, I would love that. I will write to you, Michael. And yes, I'm looking for jobs also in Wyoming.
Well, you know, they're right on the border of Wyoming and
Yes.
Colorado, so they
Yes.
might have some her husband is, you know, very knowledgeable about the Forest Service as well. So, you know, there might be some restoration type insights you might find out, but, you know, it might be worth shooting them an email or, you know, whatever. So, you know, giving them a call or, you know, an email, just check in with me and I'll try to help you out.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. It's fantastic networking. Carol Satterley, good morning and welcome to BoulderNet. Today.
Hello.
There you go, Carol.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Needing to get a new computer, which will be my main focus today. This one is probably older than some fossils out there. So I actually had some good events about a week ago. I interviewed at AGC Biologicals. If you're in Longmont, they're going to take over the Amgen building, where Amgen was previously out on Airport Road. And I have not heard anything from the project management person as to whether they're going to move forward or whether I'm going in with the next steps. So I'm trying to, I may pardon me, I may contact the previous acquisition partner that I talked to and see if she will give me a number or something that I can talk to the recruiter. She wasn't the original one. She was just covering for the recruiter that was out. So I'm kind of stuck on this job, but I would really like to have this job because it's right here in town where I live. So I did find the recruiter on what am I thinking? LinkedIn. And I sent her a message, but I haven't heard anything back. But not everybody checks their LinkedIn account, you know, daily. I'm in mine daily because I'm looking for a job. So, you know, and I would still like to do some more work on my resume as far as that goes. So I don't know, Deb, do you have any more resume classes coming up there at the workforce?
Deb, you're muted. Deb, you're muted.
We have one, thanks. We have one every other week or so. I just don't know off the top of my head when the next one is.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll go out there and look.
Okay.
Although the current resume I have did get me this interview, I'm
Okay.
still applying for jobs, so, you know, I'm not sure. And I did find out that the parent company for AGC is out on the East Coast. So, you know, I'll have to wait and see. I'm going to try the acquisition partner back today and see if I can get a hold of her. See if she'll give me some more information.
Great. Well,
Other,
if you've got the interview, then your resume is working.
well, that's what I think. Yeah. And then also, I would like to get back into aerospace, which is what I was in before. If anybody out there has any connections in, I've tried several times to get in ball and I just can't. They want people who want earned value management. And that's not really on my radar. I haven't done that. You have to have experience with that. That can be critical as far as if you're doing that for a program. So, but I can't seem to get into 2 of 6, which is an aerospace company here in Longmont. And I used to actually, I see your chat, Don. I did work at Sierra Nevada, but what I'm finding with Sierra Nevada, most of their jobs are now down in Inglewood. Are they moving from Louisville out there to Inglewood? Because all the jobs I see out there are in Inglewood lately. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I might try to make a contact out there and see what's going on. But the one in Louisville seems to have, you know, I don't know, less visibility right now. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was at a memorial service a couple of weekends ago and was talking to a gentleman who had been working at the Louisville facility, and he was telling me, he was working on Dream Chaser, and he was telling me that they were having some pretty significant management issues, which didn't leave me with the impression of that it was a place that I personally would want to be working. Now, that said, if someone really needs work, then they have less opportunity to be choosy. But anyway, it didn't feel like a situation that I would necessarily want to be getting myself involved with. But
right. Well, I do have a personal, yeah, I do have a personal friend that works there, so I think I'll contact her. I am drawing unemployment, and I really would like to get into a company so I don't have to do this again. You know,
Right.
that may be easier said than done. So I may have to take something as an interim, but you know, that's a good point. I have a friend out there. I'll check with her and see if she's heard anything.
Right. And with respect to Ball, I have also heard that you really, in order to get into Ball, it's really a networking thing, that trying to work through their HR system is very,
Futile.
yeah, it's a very low probability play, but that if you network in, then your chances go way up. So if you have a colleague that's in the Sierra Nevada system, that colleague may know someone in the Ball system, in which case you may be able to network your way into the Ball system and then therefore get an interview and then, you know, do yourself some good.
Well, and I thought about going out there and taking some classes on earned value management and LinkedIn, but boy, it's just really not my, you know, bucket of knowledge. And
Sure.
if you do earn value wrong, it's a disaster. So, you know, I don't know how to look into more things like that. Anyway,
Sure.
well, thank you for the suggestions.
Yeah.
Have you checked out places like LASP and Gilla in Boulder? The you know, the laboratory of for atmospheric and space physics, LASP.
Oh, LAST, LAST, is that what you're saying?
LASP.
Okay.
Pretty nice place, you know, on Colorado and 30th near there.
Okay.
You know, maybe could get some ideas. I don't know what your exact background is, but I knew somebody who worked there, and I know somebody who works at Gilla. They may have merged. I'm not sure about that. Gilla is near the CU physics department.
Okay. And what did you say the second name was? Could you spell that for me?
LASP, LASP.
And then Gilla, the other company?
Well, they're those are acronyms for, you know, federally funded research facilities. So JILA, Gilla, and that used to stand. That stood for Joint Institute for Laboratory Astrophysics.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
They're kind of kitty corner from the CU, the main CU library, you know, right next to the physics department at CU.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
it's nice to, you know, stretch your legs and check them out. You know, it's.
All right. Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. And unless I've screwed it up, I think our last person is Jill Shafter, right? Oh. Jill, good morning and welcome. And I apologize if I got your Jill Shafter. Sorry about that. I got your name wrong.
Hi, yes, my name is Jill Shafter. I am in Fort Collins, looking for Scrum Master, product owner. I have lots of experience in waterfall, so I'm trying to pivot into Agile. It's been with the USDA about 4 months in as a Scrum Master. And I'm really trying to get into Agile, but maybe I end up with a waterfall project management position that also has Agile that I could transfer in later once I'm in the company and industry. And I do apologize. I'm going to have to drop off for a little bit, but I may be able to rejoin.
Okay. Are there particular companies you're targeting, or are there ways that we might be able to help you, that folks on the...
Yeah, nothing particular right now.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm a little multitasking right now. So
Okay.
yeah, but I can reach out to people. I know a few people on the call.
Okay.
Bill, Don Parcher is recording this. Deb Blankenship is a very experienced facilitator or a presenter, so I would try to reach out to Don to get the recording of it. Just
Awesome, thank you.
I think Deb's a regular tub of information. So
Appreciate
Beautiful.
that.
Does anyone have any quick suggestions for Jill before she has to go? Okay. And I thought I saw an Alex Gutierrez.
Yeah, it looks like he's gone, but now we have iPhone. Is iPhone there?
iPhone, are you with us? Is there anyone else that is on that hasn't had an opportunity to introduce themselves?
if there's no one else, let me just take this moment to say I'm taking off. I have to take off. And I was going to suggest that we have a leadership time. Maybe we postpone it after this meeting, because it looks like Don might not be there. I'm not going to be there, and looks like Lauren Locke isn't going to be there. So maybe we should postpone it. Maybe John Schooneman can set up a time, maybe for Friday. So we could maybe, that's a suggestion instead of having it today. So, okay, have a good meeting. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks,
Nice to
Michael.
Not see you since you didn't.
Well, I did, I thought I was going to be leaving shortly, so I didn't want to scare everybody.
You're not scary.
All right. Well, I'll quickly introduce Deb Blankenship. Deb is one of the yeoman, one of the great folks that works at the Workforce Center. Like most of us, or all of us, she was a person that found herself, out of work. She was, a professor in theater, and found herself out of work at one point, and at the Workforce Center, and taking workshops, and then became a workshop presenter, and has now done it for, I think, something on the order of 10, 12 years. And I first met Deb, when I personally got laid off, my impulse wasn't to run to the Workforce Center and spent, I don't know, 4 months, 6 months or something, being very unsuccessful in my job search pursuits. And then finally, found out that the Workforce Center was out there and had a resume workshop, review, and wandered into the Workforce Center. And Deb was kind enough to look over my resume, and basically, in much more tactful terms than I will state it here, kind of said, well, I see why, from your resume, why you're not getting any response. Come to our workshop, and doing, which I did, and doing so definitely got me addicted to the Workforce Center. So I'll turn it over to Deb, but going over, I'm sure she's going to go over their menu of workshops, but they're from, I think I personally have taken them all. They're all spectacular. I'm including the interview workshop, which she was talking about, that's apparently no longer offered, but yeah, they're all spectacular. So anyway, Deb, I'll let you take over. But yeah, if you guys haven't been to the Workforce Center, I highly recommend it. The services they provide are just spectacular. And if nothing else, they provide one with a great, in addition to job search skills, they provide a fantastic boost to confidence and emotional boost and networking opportunities with the other participants in the workshop. So yeah, they provide you with a boost on a whole lot of levels. So yeah, Deb, take it away.
Thank you very much, Trent.
Yeah,
yeah, it's fun to see everybody. and I'm really happy to be here. It's been a long time since I've presented. So today's presentation is mostly just about the services we have at Workforce Boulder County. And I also want to say thank you, everybody. It's nice to hear what you're all into. I think you're all excellent and you'll have no trouble getting work. It's just sometimes how do you finesse that resume to get the interview? But you can certainly do that just by highlighting the skills that you have for that specific job and make sure they're on the first page of your resume, and make sure your resume is no more than 2 pages long. But that's just a quick overview of resumes. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing the PowerPoint here. Just a second, I'll share my screen. And I know I don't sit around at work just blowing bubbles all day, honest. But someone else actually created this slide presentation. We call it our road show, and for some reason they featured me right on the front page. We're trying to show that we're a fun place. So looking for work is really hard. It's demeaning, it's time consuming, it's lonely often. So we try to offer workshops and services that are not only helpful, but also, enjoyable as much as possible. And so there's some of us there in the middle. Of course, we're all virtual now. All of our services are virtual and have been since mid-March of 2020. And now we were going to start maybe opening in September, but now with the Delta variant, everything's up in the air, absolutely up in the air. Our mission is really to help people. We have educational opportunities at Workforce, not directly with us, but we can sometimes help you pay for additional training that you might need if that's just what you need to get a job. If I just had this particular training or I just had this knowledge of this one thing, that's what's holding me back. There's federal grant money for that. So education opportunities, trying to help you grow professionally. We're trying to help the whole community because at Workforce, we help job seekers. We also have a whole business services section that works with companies to try to help them find employees. We also work with businesses together because we have internships for younger adults who are trying to transition from school to work. And those are usually 3-month paid internships, but it's not necessarily just for young people. So there are lots of opportunities we have here that you might not know about. So we're trying to engage with people. We really want to listen to where you are, what you want, what you need, and then help you, empower you to move to the next level. And we do really live this, we try to live this every day. Boulder County's main little tagline is the best in public service. And they really try to push that. So we try to really make your experience the best possible experience if you work with us at Workforce Boulder County. A lot of people think that in order to use our services, they have to be on unemployment. And that's not true. It's just that when you apply for unemployment, you are then required to, quote, register with the workforce, your local workforce, which is essentially creating an account on connectingcolorado.com. That is the state website for registering for work in Colorado. But it's open to everyone, whether you're employed or unemployed or underemployed. And we focus on people who are most in need, but anybody, just veterans get a priority of service. We have a workshop just specifically for older adults, people with disabilities. We have a young adult program, and we've recently launched just this year something called the Young Leaders Academy, where we identify up to 20 people at a time who are in this age group of 16 to 24, who are in the BIPOC community, Black, Indigenous, or people of color community, to help them become leaders. And it's been incredibly successful. There's a lot of money flowing into the workforce right now, federal dollars that we haven't seen in a long time. When the unemployment rate goes up, we get more funding to help you. So there's lots of money continuing to come in and lots more programs, and the programs we have had where the funding has dried up after a few months of our fiscal year are now pretty much in the flush. So I just wanted to let you know that. Come see us. If there's some training you need and it costs some money, we may be able to assist with that. So again, we also help employers, but that's not what this particular presentation is going to focus on. Oh, I do have a dog here to my left. I can't mute him. I'm sorry. And he hardly ever barks, but he startled me when you all were introducing yourselves. I'm glad I was on mute, but he barked. Okay, so, you know, one of those things with working at home. Locations. You are seeing this presentation, aren't you? Because the green ring isn't around it. Yes?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
That's weird. There's usually a green ring around it that shows me that. Anyway, let me get my chat open so I can see what y'all are saying. All righty. So we have our locations are, well, virtual. We're just virtual, 100%. We, if we ever open, we have 2 locations, one in Longmont, which is in the St. Vrain hub. That's a big Boulder County building that's been open for about 5 years now. And the building is open, just the workforce area is not. We're not there. We're not helping people in person. So that's at 515 Kaufman. And then about a year ago, we got to move our Boulder office, which we still haven't worked in yet for now over a year, to the corner of, into Boulder, the corner of Iris and Broadway, where those other buildings are. There are about 3 or 4 buildings all on that corner. Those are county buildings. And for the first time since Workforce has existed, we're actually in a county building instead of being, you know, renting someplace somewhere else. Unfortunately, we can't use it right now until COVID is somewhat under control. What we did when COVID happened is we started a virtual, Boulder County started a virtual call center, which helped Housing and Human Services, Workforce Boulder County, and I think Public Health. So if you call this number up here, which is 720-776-0822, and then choose option 2, which is Workforce, you will be connected to one of the people who answers the phone. And what we did at that time is almost everybody at Workforce had to be on the phone at least half of their day, just answering questions, because there were so many questions. We didn't always have the answers, but at least they could talk to somebody. We very quickly learned a lot about the unemployment system because people could not get through to the unemployment office. And we were able to at least answer some questions. We couldn't help directly because Workforce is not the unemployment system. It's just that they kind of have to work together. So often people think that we can help them with their unemployment issues, and we actually can't. But we do have, we'd hired some people who were bilingual, so we could answer questions in English and Spanish. So if you have any kind of question about Workforce and you want to talk to a person, you can call this number and someone will talk to you. Okay, or if you leave a message, we will get back to you. We also have workshops. We have career workshops, we have financial workshops, and the financial workshops are in English and Spanish. We now have a computer training center. I don't know if you all are aware of this, but this is, we had what we called the computer lab when we were in person, where you could come and use our computers to work on any kind of training that you wanted to learn computers. However, now it's all virtual. And so you can sign up for this. It's absolutely free. We have 50 different types of tutorials, online tutorials, and they cover all of the Microsoft products, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Does not have Publisher, sorry. It does have SharePoint, Outlook, It even has project on it. And, Windows operating 10, it has all of those ones I mentioned before in versions 13, 16, and 19. I mean, we have it all. Then
Salesforce,
pardon?
Salesforce. You guys have Salesforce?
They just added Salesforce to it, which
Yep.
is excellent because Salesforce is so much used in any kind of customer service position.
Yep.
Or sales. So that's been added. Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google, all of that. And other fun things like email etiquette and time management. So they've added much of that. The people who use it love it. It is very user-friendly and you can use it 24/7. If you're interested in learning more, you can email the CTC info at bouldercounty.org. I can put that right in here. CTC info at, I think I put that right, CTC info at bouldercounty.org. And we'll get you signed up. It's free. You can hear what's being said, and you can watch it. You watch how to do it, then you actually do it. Then you take a little quiz in that specific function, and then you move on to the very next tiny little lesson. It's a great way to learn.
And you also get a certificate at the end of each one that you could add on your, LinkedIn profile or whatever.
Yes, you can. That's great. Thanks, Trent.
Yep.
Also, so they just added that certificate program to legitimize it to some degree. So it's a
Right.
certificate, yeah, which is very new. And another new thing we just added, again, a bunch of money coming into the state. So the state decided to buy 8,000 LinkedIn Learning licenses. That's a lot. So if you want to have access from now till at least the end of June 2022 to LinkedIn Learning, absolutely free, a full license, you can access anything. Also, you can do it online, CTC info at bouldercounty.org. I actually work with that email and I will get you set up with LinkedIn Learning as well. Okay, careers, veteran services, more intensive career services. In the last couple of years, we've added career support specialists. You can get hooked up with a career support specialist who can get to know you a little bit, know what you need, tell you what kinds of programs that we offer that might be able to help you and kind of help you navigate through our system. And of course, we have connectingcolorado.com, which I mentioned, and that's right down here too. So Colorado.com. I think I typed it right. Did I put into? Yeah. Okay. Connectingcolorado.com. That's how you get signed up for. There's a job board there as well. The companies who post the jobs on Connecting Colorado do not have to pay for that privilege. It's absolutely free. So you can look by location, but they also have a section for remote, 100% remote jobs, which has been added recently as well. Guess what? We've added 4 new workshops in the past several months. And they have an asterisk here. So of course we have our standard career exploration, resume, but the ins and outs of job applications. Now I know you all know how to fill out job applications, but if there are 1 or 2 things that you're not doing right, it could be the one determinant that is not letting you through the system. So you might want to just take this workshop knowing that you'll know 98% of it, but there might be that 1 or 2 things that's keeping you from getting that interview. So I highly recommend that you take it. We try to make it as engaging as possible. But anyway, so that's one. Get strategic about your job search is frankly just renaming our virtual job search workshop. So that's not particularly new. Let's see, what else is there? Capable and confident that your job search is merely, if you're if you're really feeling like I can't do this anymore, it really helps build your confidence. So it's a workshop that won't teach you that much necessarily, but helps you really realize what your strengths are and how you can capitalize on them. Negotiating your salary. This is actually more than just your salary, but once you get an offer, what do you say when you get an offer? Do you accept it on the spot? You're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you do that, because you're leaving possible benefits and money on the table. And since raises are usually based as a percentage of your starting salary, getting that starting salary up a few $1,000s can make a big difference in the long run. 1, 2, 3, and then working remotely. You're not sure if you want to do that or how it works. We just have some ideas about what was involved in working remotely. So that's a new workshop as well. When you want to sign up, there it is. If you have questions, you want to learn more about this, you can always email our training team. So the training team is 4 people: Claire Benton, Jen Underwood, and Laura Novak, and myself. And if you have a question there, someone will get back to you with whatever question and answer, or refer you to someone else to make sure you get your question answered. To sign up for these workshops, again, there's the website connectingcolorado.com, and you can sign up for these workshops as well as all of the other workshops that are offered virtually in Colorado. No matter where you are in your search, if you're like, I don't know where to start, I have no idea, I want to change careers, but I don't even know what to change into, that top left corner, career exploration, know yourself. We have lots of assessments we can help you with to help you see where you are at this point in your life. No matter where you are on this continuum, circular continuum, we can help you. So you don't always have to start at the beginning or anything like that. We just want to let you know that we can help you with your resume. We can help you with interviewing. We can help you get maybe money for training. We can help you identify training that you might need, just all kinds of stuff. We have a whole battery of financial workshops. Now, most of you, based on what I know about where you are in your life, would not need maybe any of these. But if you know someone who really is perhaps a younger person, these kinds of workshops, they're not taught anywhere. This financial education is not taught in the schools. And so many people don't know about how to save, or really what credit's all about, and how you can get completely snowballed by having credit and not paying it off every month. They're excellent. I don't like any of these topics personally, but the person who teaches them, Marcia, is incredibly engaging, and she makes this fun and interesting. Don't ask me how, but she's amazing. One of the last ones here, Investing Basics, which is listed here, is excellent. It is taught, it's a 2-hour workshop. Most of these are an hour and a half. It's a 2-hour workshop taught by a financial expert. So if you want to know the really good advice on everything about investing, really short and sweet, it's a great workshop. They are also offered in Spanish. We have a trainer, Carla, who is excellent, and she teaches all of these in Spanish as well. Yes.
Deb, do you guys have a workshop on doing consulting? I mean, one of the things that I've done when I was between jobs is, right, I was a person where I had a skill set, and I was, had a sudden situation where I had a skill set that I could sell. I didn't have an employer that wanted to buy it, but then I had people that, didn't want to buy it on an employee basis, but wanted to buy it on a consulting basis, right? But part of the problem of selling it on a consulting basis was that I had liability issues, right? And as a young person, I didn't really have anything to put in jeopardy, right? Because I didn't have any assets, right? But as a mature person, I now have a house, I have retirement savings, et cetera, right? So doing a little consulting might be some jeopardy, right? So how do I do that consulting safely, right? Do you guys have a seminar that would tell me, you know, go get this E&O insurance, or go get this umbrella policy, or go get this, you know, level of, you know, liability insurance, or, you know, whatever, right? How do I go do that little bit of consulting and protect myself while, you know, because when I'm an employee, if I'm doing some accounting, right, and I put a decimal in the wrong place, well, that's right. Or if I'm an engineer and I screw something up.
Yeah, your building falls down like it did in Florida. Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. Right. But as a consultant, suddenly my retirement's wiped out. Right. All right. So do you guys have a seminar that helps out of work workers safely do a little consulting?
No, and that's an excellent topic. I'm not exactly sure where the line is. We're helping people get back to work. Consulting begins to cross the line into small business.
Right.
So that's a great question. I'm going to bring it up to the staff and see what they say. When people ask that, we usually say, check out your small business area and check that out. Gabriella, you got it?
Yeah.
But every time I did it, I was trying to do it as a bridge, right? I mean, I wasn't trying to be, I didn't want to be a permanent consultant. I'm just trying to feed myself and pay my mortgage and just get a little bit of gap. But if I screwed up during that gap, yep.
Trent, that seminar or that class is taught by the Chamber of Commerce in Boulder in, I believe it is Canyon and Folsom. And they teach like 1 or 2 classes per month related to insurance. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The other way to work around that is to
I just wanted to say,
go ahead, Donna.
I just wanted to say something. Because of the nature of my work, I have had an LLC in liability insurance for about 3 decades. And it is, I mean, I've never had to use it, but it's a wonderful umbrella to work under and not terribly expensive to maintain.
Yeah, no, I have that stuff as well. Yeah, no, I'm more just raising the point with Deb that it might be something that the workforce might consider adding if they don't have it, because I
get it.
I think it's I suspect it's a common situation, because when someone's laid off, the first time I got laid off actually I quit a job in 2000 and immediately reached out to colleagues of, hey, I just quit my job, are you looking for any, for some consulting help? Because, I'm willing to sell you some of my labor, and didn't even think about the liability issues, right? But, now as a more seasoned person, and a person that used to work contracts and am very aware of liability issues, I don't know that I would do that now without a lot more protection, because I am aware of liability and I'm aware of how many more assets I have that, could be jeopardized by doing that. So
one of the
anyway,
suggestions,
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I would suggest, if you want to do that on the short term and you don't want to do the whole insurance and the whole LLC thing, that you might consider saying to the person who wants to hire you, why don't we go through a temp agency like Aerotech or something like that? So then you would be technically working for Aerotech. They would have all of the liability insurance and you could do it that way. You won't make as much money, perhaps, but that would be my workaround in that scenario.
But and Deb, since I have an LLC too, Gabriella and Donna were right. I mean, the SBA, when I first started my own business, they have an incredible program, gave me a counselor. They went through all of this. And my liability and my errors and emissions insurance cost me about $300 a year. And for millions of dollars of coverage in an LLC, it's $50 a year.
That's not much. It's pretty cheap.
It's $50 a year. I think it's $50 to maintain it, but I mean $350. And I have been sued. It was frivolous, but it was a frivolous lawsuit. It was found in my favor. But had I had to pay, it would have been, I would have been covered. So I did get sued in my supply chain consulting about 15 years ago. But the SBA offers an incredible program, and they set you up with a counselor. So I think at all the groups, and I run LongSpeakNet, we should recommend anyone that wants to do consulting, go talk to the SBA.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because again, it's where it crosses the line. But I think what I'm going to do, people who consult generally are people who are 50 plus, because they've got the experience, and they're the ones who can really want to pass down a little bit of information a lot of information in a short period of time. So I'll just add that in to, I already mentioned it briefly, but I'm going to talk about the Small Business Association. Thanks. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Great question. Excellent. Oh, I already mentioned this in the previous slide, but this is more about the we call it our computer training center, but now it's our virtual computer training center. So any software that you're interested in, and even there's some courses, not the full amount, but a small number of courses that are taught in Spanish. So you can check that out as well, ctcinfo@bouldercounty.org. And I mentioned before about our career support specialists who offer more intensive career services. And that's where you're really needing some extra help to move through, not just taking a casual workshop here and there. So you can get some ongoing career coaching. This is where you can figure out how to do that occupational skills training, maybe even get some work-based learning, which is something that the entire federal government is trying to push people into, because so many companies want to hire people, quote, with experience. How do you get experience? So these services are for anybody, 16 to 24 for our young adult section, but then all of our adult services are for 25 years and above. We do have bilingual staff, and you have to be eligible, but some of the funding that we don't have it right now, but it's coming. Some of the funding that's coming is all you have to do is prove that you lost your job or you're out of work some way because of COVID. Well, that's not hard to prove these days. A lot of federal funded, and there's the documentation involved in that you would have to supply. All right, so the career coaching will just help you with these kinds of things. Assessment, we're trying to be strategic, compassionate, and start with our interest form. And I have this link somewhere here. You'll get this. I'm showing you from a PDF file. We will send this to you all. So all of these links are live. We've developed an interest form, which is one of the easiest ways to get started. If you have the interest form, it just asks your name, a little bit about what you're looking for. It's pretty easy to get through, and then that goes through our system and someone gets back to you and starts talking with you and helping you with the process. So it's the easiest way to start with our interest form. As I mentioned before, we have occupational skills training to upskill just a little bit, especially in this world where software keeps changing and things keep happening, and we're going to have to continue to upskill throughout our career, and especially if you're in IT, but just about anything. Almost all of the training is online these days because of COVID, and the training has to be approved. Some of the things that it has to do, first of all, the training has to be for something that will make you employable. So if, for instance, if you want to get training to be an actor, probably not. There's not a high demand for actors in the world. So not that, but something that's in demand. Our work-based learning involves hands-on paid internships, also direct connections with employers. You can get experience, build references, grow confidence. And then you also get an industry recognized credential at the end by having done some of this work-based learning. And then also for our young adults, but not always, just anybody who wants post-secondary education, we have one-on-one assistance with that. This is basically our 16 to 24-year-old program. Help with college admission applications. This is really good for students who, for instance, their parents never went to school and they have no idea what that process is to get into college or even to junior college or even get a certificate program. The difference between associate degrees, certification trainings, which are usually just a year, maybe 2 years at the most, where you can come out and get a great job for $60,000 a year just by having 1 or 2 years of training at a place like Front Range Community College. We just had, by the way, we just had a presentation by someone at Front Range telling us about their amazing optics training program they have. There are a lot of companies in the Boulder area that deal in optics. And this is not eyeglasses. This is high-end optics for all kinds of things. And they can't find enough people. So those companies got together and worked with Front Range Community College to develop this program. And they can't get enough people to sign up for it. And these people come out making some good money. So, and it's a 2-year program. These are the things that we're trying to get people to understand is out there, especially younger people who think it's either college or, you know, McDonald's. Not so. There's a high need for skilled technical people, and there just aren't enough people taking the training to fill those positions. This is the link here to the interest form that I mentioned before. This is the actual link. So I can copy this, I think, and put it, oh, I did not want to do that. Whoa, here we go. Whoops, no, this one. Okay, let me put it here. So you have it if you're interested in. Nope, it didn't copy properly. Oh, well, anyway, that's the site. So that's the link directly to the interest form. And please, anybody you know who might be needing help with work, let them know about Workforce. We are really here to help. We are not allowed to spend any money on advertising. That has been a rule and a law with the federal government forever. So people don't know about us. We have to rely on word of mouth, which works, but dang, it's really hard to get the word out there that we exist and we're there to help. As I mentioned before, we do have a business services. We have, there are lots and lots of online job fairs that we have. Employers are having a lot of trouble trying to get people even to come to job fairs. And this was true even before COVID when we had them in person. There just aren't enough people coming to job fairs, but the employers are hungry for people. If you are a business or you know of a business who would like some help, they can contact our business services division of Workforce Boulder County through this WFBiz, Workforce Biz at bouldercounty.org. This is us. We also post a lot on Facebook, which is how we're trying to get through. Also on LinkedIn, Instagram sometimes too. Our website, Workforce, you can also just email us directly for any question at all at workforce@bouldercounty.org. Our website, wfbc.org. Register with Connecting Colorado at connectingcolorado.com to register for any of those workshops that we mentioned. So we have lots of links to try to get you connected with all of us. And I think that may be my last slide. Happy Rainbow Day. Rainbows make me happy, so it's a good way to end things.
Cool.
How about if I
Thank you,
stop-
Deb.
I'll stop the recording.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and does anyone